why I was never homeless is because there was a leak in my window at my apartment building. And I got over $20,000 worth of rent free. It just blows my mind today. But in that moment, I couldn't shift my perspective and see the blessings I was receiving. Welcome back to one's journey of unwinding the mind and, of course, your daily microdose. Now, tune in to the latest episode of One's Journey. I'm super excited to talk about my favorite things to talk about. I don't know how many videos of this we have so far, a lot, but not changing the content, but changing your perception of it. Perception is literally our superpower, friend. I know curiosity is too, but curiosity and perception go together. Love them both. And yeah, perception. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to bring this topic to you because recently I've had some really beautiful experiences with me shifting my perception, and then within moments, everything aligning exactly as they were supposed to, when instead I could have taken that moment to be in this place of like fear and scarcity and in just a very uncomfortable place. And I'm not sure if I actually would have seen the solution if I wouldn't have allowed myself to just shift my perspective and be like, okay, it's going to turn out the way it's going to, and just trust, just surrender. My word for the year has been trust. So I really try to, through the lens always, that is trust. Okay, so I wanted to give you some examples, of course. Recently, okay, these are going to be very materialistic examples, my friends. Remember, because we're using illusion examples, but you will understand what I'm saying. So when we were gone, I needed to order some new facial makeup from Clinique. And while we were out of town, I saw they had a 25% off coupon. I put everything in my cart and I was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, then I forgot. And a week later, I'm almost out. I go back on Clinique and there's no 25% off coupon. And the old version of Ashley would have been like, oh my gosh, I can't even order it. But I knew I was out and I needed this face wash in order to be clean. And so I just sat there a little bit, put things in the cart, went and did some like other things, and just kind of just let it ruminate. I don't even know what I was doing. I just know I shifted my perspective of, I had this deep knowingness and deep trust that it was going to work itself out. And granted, again, this is illusionary and that's not the focus, but the focus is the cause, like the cause internally of fully shifting. And I come back and the most random thing ever, I don't even know how, all of a sudden this 25% off coupon code pops up. I'm like, what? And it wasn't on the Clinique site. It was completely somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, score. And I got my 25% off and it all worked out exactly as it should. Another one. So if you haven't checked out my video already, I think I titled it, Get Exactly What You Need. It's really my interpretation of the law of attraction, manifesting, and how to look at things from a different perspective so that we're not creating shame and guilt, and to really understand what that is. So one of the things is that we get exactly what we need. And recently I have a client that I thought was a reiteration of my shame and guilt, that again, I'm still in a bad place financially. But what I realized is it was exactly an opportunity for me to heal. And she came to me and she's like, I can't financially do this. She was very sad. And I just had this knowingness that we weren't supposed to stop working in that moment. I was like, hey, is this like important to you? Are you getting benefit from this? She's like, yes, I can't imagine not having this. And I was like, then we'll figure it out. It'll figure itself out. But to be honest, if you know my story at all, my business fell apart a couple of years ago and I went deep in debt, like tens and tens and tens, almost $100,000 in debt, which is a lot of debt when you're not making any money. So I'm still working on a plan to pay that off 2 years later. And so her inability to pay her monthly fee drastically impacted my ability to continue my plan of paying off my debt. So the older version of Ashley that wasn't able to shift her perspective and trust would have gone into the scarcity mindset of like, oh my gosh, now how I'm going to pay my bills and how's this going to happen and how's that going to happen and blah, blah, blah. And at first I started to kind of, and then I put my lens of trust on, which is my word of the year and I believe my word for the rest of this lifetime and hopefully lifetimes after if I have to come back. And I was like, it'll figure itself out. I mean, my biggest thing is, do you have what you need today? And I do. I have exactly what I need today. This is more about the future of paying off that debt. And funny thing, literally, I don't know, hour and a half later passes and I get a text message. I get a text message from an older client that I had over probably a year ago. And she had ran into a financial situation as well. You guys are all thinking, oh, Ashley gives her services away for free. No, I do not, but I do listen at times when it makes sense. And she also had ran into a financial place about midway through our services, and we decided, like, it's a wash. You know, at that point, I was like, don't worry about it. We'll keep on this journey. And she has greatly transformed her life. I hadn't heard from her in a few months. And I never thought I would see that money. And she texted me, she said, I just want you to know life is going amazing. This is where I'm at in life. And I want to pay you what I owe you. And I was like, dang. Not only is what that covers what this other client isn't able to pay me, but it covers so much more. But I don't think I would have been able to receive it. I don't even think she would have sent it because, again, we're connected to one. And by me really surrendering, allowed her to step forward. And look how beautiful it turned out. So it's not about searching for the answer. It's about trusting and shifting your perspective that it's going to work out. And does it always work out exactly how you think? No. For example, when I was contemplating being homeless, looking back, the only reason why I was never homeless is because there was a leak in my window at my apartment building. And I got over $20,000 worth of rent free. It just blows my mind today. But in that moment, I couldn't shift my perspective and see the blessings I was receiving because instead it wasn't coming into my bank account. I mean, it was like $4,200 or $4,500 a month that I wasn't having to pay. But I didn't have the ability to shift my perspective. So I couldn't see it for what it was. And there's probably lots of other things I missed in the process of that because my perspective was that in the laser focus that I was building this empire and the only way money could come in was through clients. And if it wasn't coming in through clients, then I was a failure and we must create shame and guilt. And then that turned into a whole spiral for me. But your perspective is so freaking powerful. And those are just two small stories. I will tell you, friend, in the last week or two, they've been coming up left and right. Even these videos I've been recording today, I had some apprehension about my Through the Lens video I was recording on this same day. And I just kept reminding myself, the script is already written. Just allow it to unfold in the manner in which it's meant to. That need for control and manipulation puts me in the movie theater that it's not with Jesus. I'm not eating popcorn. And if you don't know me, I love popcorn. Like, love it. Today is a Friday and we get popcorn tonight and I'm so freaking excited. But it's about being able to be in the theater with Jesus and just sitting back and eating that popcorn and fully trusting that it will work out, but not deciding what workout means, right? That is the key. I did not decide that working out meant I would find a coupon code for Clinique. I had surrendered to the point that I needed this. If working out meant I order this at full price, that's what working out means. And the gratitude that I have the money today to be able to purchase it full price. Ashley, 2 years ago, you didn't know how you were going to eat. And the same goes for that client that no longer had the ability to financially compensate for the services. And if I would have gone down the spiral of, oh my gosh, scarcity and all this, so much energy would have been placed there. and so much weight that who knows what would have come about. But I don't believe I would have received that message from that other client. And I definitely wouldn't have received it with the open heart I had and the trust I had. So trust, surrender, shift your perspective. My favorite thing, curiosity and shift your perspective. I need just like t-shirts and everything that says, always curious, always changing your glasses, right? Always putting her right-minded glasses back on. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in today, my friends. If you are tuning in on YouTube, thank you. If you are tuning in through Patreon, thank you so much for being a part of the community. If you don't know what Patreon is, go check it out, bigmiracleenergy.com. We have monthly live discussions, and we have an amazing Discord where it's just a bunch of like-minded individuals getting curious. Isn't that what this is all about? But as always, my friend, comment below, how did today's video impact you? What did it provoke within you? And share with us any topics you would like us to cover or to discuss further. And as always, remember you are worth it. So much love. Bye-bye.